Flute method. In music, a flute method is a kind of specific textbook-style manual for playing the flute. It usually contains fingering charts and slash or scales and numerous different exercises, sometimes also simple etudes, in different keys, in ascending order as to difficulty equals, in methodical progression, or with a focus on isolated aspects like fluency, rhythm, dynamics, articulation, and the like. Sometimes there are duets or even recital pieces, also with accompaniment. Such methods differ from etude books in that they are meant as a linear course for a student to follow, with consistent guidance, whereas volumes of etudes are not as comprehensive. As typical instrumental methods are meant to function as textbooks supporting an instrumental teacher rather than to facilitate self-teaching, usually no basic or special playing techniques are covered in any depth. Detailed instructions in this respect are only found in special, autodidactical methods. Some methods are specially tailored for students on certain skill levels or stages of psychosocial development. In contrast, a complete method sometimes in multiple volumes is meant to accompany the student until he or she becomes an advanced player. Methods of certain authors or editors have achieved the status of standard works reflecting regional and cultural differences and are published or reissued by different publishing companies and often in new layouts or arrangements. The Suzuki method is one of the most well-known examples of this. The following is a list of various methods of historical interest. Historical, Oracle, 17th century. Clayford, John, the Delightful Companion, or Choice New Lessons for the Recorder or Flute, 18th century. Corret, Mitchell, Méthode raisonnée pour apprendre aisément à jouer de la flûte traversière, 1740, 1840, 1840, 1840, 1840, 1840, 1840, 1840. Hottatera Jacques, Principes de la flûte traversière, de la flûte à bec, et du hautbois, op. 1 Amsterdam, Eschen Roger, 1728. Lorenzoni, Antonio, Saggio per ben soner il flauto traverso con alcune notizia generali. Pearson, William, The Complete Music Master, 1722. Quantz, Johann Joachim Versuch einer Anweisung die Flöte Traversier zu spielen. 1752. Heron, Luke, A Treatise on the German Flute. 1771. Tromlitz, Johann George, Unterricht der Flöte zu spielen, 1791. 19th century. Halls, Henry, Method for the Bohème Flute. Berbegeyer, Benoit Tranquille, Flute Method. Dressler, Raphael, New and Complete Instructions for the Flute, Op. 68. 1827. Drouet, Louis, Method of Flute Playing. 1830. Fürstenau, Anton Bernhard, Flötenschule, Op. 42. 1826. Fürstenau, Anton Bernhard, Die Kunst des Flötenspiels, Op. 138. 1844. Huguet and Wunderlich, Methode de Flute. 1804. Lindsay Thomas, The Elements of Flute Playing. 1830. Manzani, Tebaldo, Instructions for the German Flute. 1801. Perrault, Matthew, Methode pour la Flute. 1800. Sausmann, Heinrich Gross Praktische Flötenschule, Op. 53 Leipzig, 1841. Wagner, Ernest, Foundation to Flute Playing. Ragg, Jacob, Improved Flute Preceptor. Op. 6 First Edition, 1800. Modern methods. Early 20th century. De Lorenzo, Leonardo. El Indispensable, A Complete Modern School for the Flute. 1912. Caffanel, Paul and Gaubert, Philip. Methode complete de Flute. 1923. T3. Mid to late 20th century. Suzuki, Shinichi and Takahashi, Toshio, The Suzuki Method for Flute. C. 1972. Toff, Nancy, 1996. The Flute Book, A Complete Guide for Students and Performers, Second ed. Farmers second ed. Farmers second ed. Kind ed. Kind ed. Kind ed. Kind ed. Kind ed. Oxford and New York. Oxford University Press.